And welcome back to Sin and Finn, the Dugout Decision Show.
And the Toronto Blue Jays just got swept by the Chicago White Sox in 3 games. That brings them down to 4-5 on the season, which doesn't look all too bad. But then when you look at the context and the grand scheme of things, you face the Oakland Athletics or the Athletics. I guess they're just the Athletics. You face the White Sox, you face the Rockies, and you're 4-5. It's not great. And who's next? It's the big bad LA Dodgers, and boy oh boy, that should be something to watch, man.
Yeah, I've referenced the June schedule, right? Because we know in that month we're facing a playoff team pretty much every series. So what did I say? And I know we've both said this on the podcast. You need to get off to a good start. I know 9 games, 4-5. It doesn't mean a whole lot. Win the Dodgers series, you're back above 500. It doesn't mean a whole lot. But to think again, like these are the teams that we can't beat. And it would be such a Jays thing if we take 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers or something like that. Like, I don't know why we're like that. I don't know. Like, it would just be so easy. I think the Dodgers are what 7-2, something like that. They go down to the Nationals yesterday. They come back because they got sticks and they come back. Our offense is completely anemic. It's gone. I don't know what has happened. The entire roster is either injured or sick, but I don't know. We'll get into it, man. It's getting swept by the White Sox. It's a horrible way to start the year.
Yeah, and starting with series struggles, the biggest point I think of this series and like in general is sickness and injuries. It's just that seems to be a bug going around in the Blue Jays clubhouse, and
Yeah.
a lot of people have said this, but it seems like there's always a bug going around the clubhouse this time of year. Every
Yeah.
April, every second week of the season, something like that, and it's like, oh, the Chris Bassett's throwing up in the clubhouse or something like that, like just something like that. So. That's what happened this series. Sickness and injury is not a whole lot of fun. So Kirk went down, which is a huge blow. And has Alejandro Kirk been the best hitter since I don't know, last year, like since August last year? No, no, hasn't been the best hitter, but he is hugely important, and we saw that once he left, and we'll touch on that in a few minutes here.
Oh my
But
God.
so it's a fractured left thumb, I believe, with the dislocation as well, and more information will actually come out today about that. But it's presumed to be about 6 to 8 weeks,
Oh,
which is definitely not great. So that's the first one that went down, and it's a huge blow to this Blue Jays, not only offense, but pitching staff and defensive unit as well.
like we'll get to the Heineman stuff. Okay, we'll get there at
Yeah.
some point. But just focusing on Kirk, I don't care what he was doing with the bat in the beginning of the season. You know that guy's going to figure it out. And again, at the catching position, anything you get from the offensive side is just a bonus. It's the defense. And we've seen early in the year, even with the ABS system, his framing is still incredibly important. I remember seeing with some of the A's hitters in the first series, they were afraid to challenge pitches because Kirk made the pitch look so good with his framing ability. He's special, man. I mean, he's a catcher that has the potential to be like a top 3 guy in the league at that position. Put, I don't know, Cal Raleigh there, put Will Smith there, and Alejandro Kirk has an argument to be third or in the top 5 at least. So, I mean, just what a tough way to go. I just the whole way the series went, as if it wasn't already enough to have like 3 starting pitchers on the injured list to open the year. Cody Ponce then goes down. We'll get to Addison Barger later, who looked like he was about to snap his leg in half. Everyone is just getting injured. But I think that's one of the most important ones because, like you said, Kirk is controlling the entire pitching staff. He knows all the starters. He's got to know all the relievers. Been with the team since what, 2020? I mean, he's developed a relationship with these guys. And I'm sorry, Tyler Heineman or Brandon Valenzuela. I don't know how that's going to cut it for 8 weeks or however long it's going to be with a thumb. Man, we had Max Scherzer dealing with a thumb thing last year. He didn't even break his thumb. So I don't even want to know how long this guy's going to be out. But regardless, it's just horrible to see him out that long.
Oh, it's brutal. And I think it was the last episode where I'm coming for Alejandro Kirk a bit, and I'm saying that Tyler Heineman's been outperforming Alejandro Kirk, and boy, did
Oh,
that bite me in the butt. Oh my
oh
goodness.
my
Oh,
god.
that's been my worst take by far this whole podcast. But when you look back and take away some of the recent struggles, like he is hugely important. It's not only the WAR if you look it up and you're like, how the heck does this guy have a 5 WAR? When he leaves the game, you notice it's like, oh, that's why he has a 5 WAR. So just all the little things. He's a great blocker. He's a great framer. He's a great contact guy, and losing all of that is it's huge. Like just brutal. It's one thing to suck early in the year, like just to not hit the ball at all, but it's another thing to lose your guys and for an extended period of time. So I'm like once you see injuries, it's just concerning because they're out for this amount of time, and then once they come back, they have to get their timing back hitting wise, and it's just it's a very long process. So all the best to Alejandro Kirk, prayers up, and then another guy, Addison Barger went down yesterday. Did not look good on that one at all. So it was bases loaded, two outs. Hits a pretty good ball to a rookie. It's his first game with the White Sox, and he makes a heck of a play. And then Addison Barger extends for that first base bag and seems to hurt both ankles. I think it said like bilateral ankle
Oh
discomfort.
my God.
I think it said so. It's a new low for the Toronto Blue Jays, and they lose Addison Barger for a day or two, John Schneider said, and hopefully not more than that.
Listen, I know he hasn't done a whole lot, okay, in my breakup pick and all that, but I think even beforehand, I think he was one of the guys that was sick in the clubhouse too. So even if he didn't fall on his ankles, was he just going to puke in the middle of the game? I don't know. Everyone is sick on that roster. I'll be honest, I didn't even really see the Barger thing. I just saw him grimacing at his leg, and my first thought is, well, there's another injury. Like we just can't add another one. I don't know. Eric Lauer as well on the mound. I mean, we're hearing reporters after the game saying that he can't even hold a smoothie down. Like the guy ate nothing yesterday. He's battling it out for the guys because we don't have pitching. To think again, we talked about this like 9 starters in the offseason, 10 starters, and we have no one. We're resorting to, and we'll get to him later, Lazaro Estrada to cover the bulk innings on Saturday's game. But had we not had Eric Lauer start in the Sunday game and say he's, I don't know, just too sick and he can't do it or he broke his ankle or something, who's pitching? I don't know. Are we starting like Joe Mantiply or something? I know he came in and looked okay for an inning, but is this really what we've come to? So shout out to Eric Lauer. As sick as he was feeling, you could tell. I mean, the fastball velo, I didn't see a whole lot of his outing, but I know he was like 87, 88, something like that. He was battling through it, man. I don't even know if he recorded a strikeout in yesterday's game, but to hear what he was feeling like before and after the game and immediately throwing up after the game ended and right before, I mean, a trooper. I'm glad we didn't just have to see like an Adrian Hauser moment where he's puking on the mound or a Hunter Green moment, something like that. But I mean, props to him for battling it out. But I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is with the offense going cold all the time, and there's always injuries happening, and there's always sickness happening early in the season. Like, I don't know, are these guys not preparing well enough in the offseason? I don't know what it is. At least if the injury bug and the sickness bug is going to bite us now, do it now. Do it now. Get it out of the way. We seem to perform better when the weather warms up. We can come around to June, July, the Rogers Center opens up and the weather's better. I guess that's all we need. But props to Eric Lauer and Addison Barger and all these guys that stuck it through. I remember watching the Saturday game, like Ernie Clement and Dalton Varsho both fouled balls off their ankles. I thought they were done, honestly. I mean, props to them. They kept going. But I don't know, man. I'll be honest. Didn't see a whole lot of the game yesterday. If you were celebrating Easter yesterday, I hope you enjoyed some time with family. I did. I was just peeping at the television a little bit, and honestly, if that's a baseball game you missed, that's okay because that was not a great baseball game to watch.
Yeah, and just sticking with the pitching side there, that the pitching's been okay. I think we allowed
Yeah,
14 runs to the Chicago White Sox, which when you look at it before the series and be like, hey, we allowed 14 runs to the Chicago White Sox, like in 3 games, it sounds pretty brutal. That's less than 5 runs a game. It's a decent amount. But then when you
yeah,
look at it after the series, you're like, okay, a lot happened. Let's put some context here. The big part here is Brendan Little. So Brendan Little came in earlier in the series and looked okay. Like, or was it the end of the Rocky series? He
yeah.
had a solid outing where it was a clean outing. I think it was three up, three down, first clean outing in like forever. And okay, okay, is this like the Brendan Little of the first half of last year? Or did we have him back? Is this like a new kind of Brendan Little? And the way he was achieving success wasn't through his 98 mile per hour fastball. No, it looked a lot similar to the end of last year, where it's just sinker, curveball, except he was landing the sinker and landing the curveball. So, okay, do we have something here? And then fast forward to the second game of the series, and man, he just completely blew it up. It was a really, really tough watch, especially because it was against lefties. It was against two left-handed batters that took him deep. So there's a pretty cool stat here I found on Twitter, and it's Brendan Little in his whole career, besides that game on Saturday, gave up two lefty-lefty home runs. Pretty good, pretty good. It's because your stuff moves a heck of a lot. And then in that one inning, he gave up two home runs to lefties. So, it's a new low. I think it was Mitch Bannon on Twitter. It's a new low, and he got sent down as well. So a bunch of different things here. He hasn't looked like what he looked like in spring training with the fastball, and then he blew it up on Saturday, and the Blue Jays cut ties, well, at least for now, and sent him down to spring training to reset that confidence and see if he can find that 98 mile per hour fastball again.
I mean, dude, like what happened? Is it just the weather? I don't understand. How was he throwing 98, pushing 100 in spring training, and he's back to like 93 down the middle? I don't know. Is the confidence just shot like right out of the gate? He just knew I'm stepping on that big league mound, and the confidence is immediately shot. Because in spring training, we know like did the games really matter? The Golden Grapefruit is nice to win, but the games don't really matter. A lot of the guys were at the WBC, so he was taking it easy. Weather's nice in Florida. I don't know what happened, but obviously it started the first series with the A's. And listen, I want to be nice on the Jays players. Obviously, you can tell. I mean, I got the stuff everywhere here. I want to be nice on the Jays players. It's a Jays first podcast. But when you got someone like Brendan Little on the mound with a 25 ERA or whatever he has, I don't know what nice there is to say. I want to feel bad for the guy, but what is he doing out there for me to feel bad for him? I mean, every time he comes out there, he looks like he's completely lost on the mound, and he's given up, I don't know, 4 or 5 runs every time he comes out there. The stat I saw, when you add his runs given up with Tyler Heineman's runs, which of course, Tyler Heineman's already pitched in a game, you add those runs together, it's something like 15 of the 17 runs the bullpen's given up this year just from those two guys. I mean, what are we talking about? The entire bullpen, all the guys in the bullpen, Hoffman, Rogers, Varland, doesn't matter any of them. They all have ERAs below like 2. And I think Fluharty is the only other one who has like a 10 or something. But that's because he keeps coming into the game right before Brendan Little. Brendan Little keeps giving up his runs. So I don't know. It's crazy, man. I mean, he looks like he's throwing beach balls out there. I couldn't believe it. We had the lead. That's the one thing I remember from Saturday's game. Vladdy finally comes alive. I mean, an absolute nuke after he just missed one earlier. We're going to get to that later. But we finally have the lead. I'm thinking, okay, here we go. And Brendan Little comes in the game. And immediately my mind is, well, okay, it's not great. I mean, we're probably going to give up the lead here. But then I'm thinking it's two lefties. Okay, it's Munetaka Murakami. He's prone to swing and miss. Well, not when you throw it 93 right down the middle. So, I mean, that ball was absolutely killed by Murakami, and I wish we could get more of that on Okamoto. But I think it was Montgomery as well was the other one that went deep off him. When you look at the placement of the pitches, again, like I've said, not like right down the middle, 93, it's just uncompetitive. We're going to get to the uncompetitive at bats from the guys in the lineup. These are uncompetitive pitches. I mean, I've said it all along. I don't know why I picked him up on fantasy early in the year. I'm sticking with it. I'm not letting his one good outing deceive me anymore until he proves something in Buffalo. And listen, if we're talking about cold weather, how is he going to perform at Buffalo? I don't know how that's going to go any better for him. I don't know. It's probably going to be like -2 in Buffalo. So I don't know. I don't know with Brendan Little. That's the last option. So if he doesn't figure it out in AAA, and let's say they have to bring him back because okay, you're not going to leave the guy in AAA all year, and he stinks it up again. Well, that's the last we've seen of him. And then the real question becomes, well, what do we do with the other lefty? Because I know we've talked about the Adam Macko thing, but I know he's being stretched out to be a starter. Is it Joe Mantiply? I mean, he was an all-star in 2022. I don't know. When you look at some of the names we're bringing up now, like Austin Voth, I don't know. That's a guy that covered innings yesterday. It's a little scary. It's a little scary, the situation of the bullpen right now when we thought it was much improved coming into the year.
Yeah, and Brendan Little's a guy you really want to succeed. Like you want him to be a good player because
Yeah.
of all the struggles he's had, but also his role on the team. Like he's a lefty reliever. Lefty relievers are hugely important to a team's bullpen because there are a lot of really good left-handed batters, and you got
Yeah.
to get those guys out with lefty relievers. And looking at this upcoming series, we know these guys all too well. It's Shohei Ohtani, it's Max Muncy, it's Freddie Freeman, it's Kyle Tucker now, and you have Mason Fluharty and who's been excellent. Really, don't look at the box score, don't look at the stat lines. Mason Fluharty's been solid,
Yeah.
and you have Joe Mantiply, who Joe Mantiply, yeah, if you look at his resume, he was an all-star in what 2023. He was throwing like 93, 94 back then. and he's throwing 88, 89 right now. So I don't know if that ceiling is still there. But you got to find another guy. Whether it's Adam Macko, I think it's got to be Adam Macko. He's looked good in AAA so far. You just got to be buying time for Adam Macko right now, or Ricky T. Or
Ooh,
Ricky T. Have not talked about Ricky T.
ooh,
I kind of forgot about him, just popped in my head right now. But if Ricky T could factor into this equation, if Ricky T could get healthy, that
yeah,
could be fun. That could be a huge addition to this Blue Jays bullpen. Having an electric lefty arm, and I've compared Ricky T to Justin Robleski in the past just because I think an electric lefty is awesome out of the bullpen, and
yeah,
we'll actually see Justin Robleski tonight. But if Ricky T could be that lefty out of the bullpen, that would be amazing. And Mason
yeah,
Fluharty's a
yeah.
complimentary guy because that, like, all the credit to Mason Fluharty. He's been solid. I don't think he's your best lefty reliever out of the bullpen. I don't think he has the
No.
arsenal to do that, and that could change. But as of right now, I think Ricky Tiedemann has got to step up, got to be healthy. This is your chance, buddy boy. There's a slot there, and it's your opportunity to go and get it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, who doesn't want to be healthy? I mean, obviously he wants to be healthy, but I just remember like end of February, we are like 5 days into spring training, and this guy's throwing a live at bat to
Yeah.
Vladdy or whoever it was, and already I could tell he wasn't really showing a whole lot, but I could tell that after throwing a pitch, he's pulling a little bit of this and he's feeling out the shoulder. I'm like, already, we're like 4 or 5 days into spring training. I don't know what it is with that guy's elbow. I don't know. His elbow or his shoulder must just be completely shattered because I don't even remember the last time he was healthy. I mean, he just came off Tommy John, and I hear from a lot of pitchers. Think of like, I don't know, what Jacob DeGrom has had like two Tommy John surgeries. Got him right there, actually. And they come back like stronger, these guys, after Tommy John. Nathan Evaldi, I'm pretty sure at Tommy John, he came back pumping 98 or whatever. And these guys say their arms come back stronger. I don't know if that's the case for Ricky T. I don't know. Maybe something went wrong during the procedure. He's the perfect guy because he can, yes, like you said, pump 100. We're talking about Brendan Little that was throwing 98 in spring. Ricky T is a guy that could get up to 100. The stuff is there. It's just, I think he's going to have to prove it a little bit in the minor leagues. Listen, I even said it in the offseason as well. I remember throwing it out there that, yeah, he's going to be like a trade deadline acquisition type. He'll come up in July, August, whatever, and throw out of the pen. I mean, prove it. You kind of have to prove it. We took a guy like Spencer Miles, for example, who had almost zero minor league innings because he was a Rule 5 guy, right? We knew we couldn't keep him in the minor leagues. You have to take him on the roster. Otherwise, he's back to the Giants. Ricky T, we're not going to do that. We're not just going to throw him into the bullpen and say, here, you got to throw 50 innings this year when I don't even know if he's done that in a single season in his entire minor league career. I really want to see it, but they're going to have to stretch him out a little bit at AAA first, I think. Little exercise I saw though on Twitter. I think it was from Damon, who writes for Blue Jays Nation. He put something out there and he goes, "How would Brenda Little do right now against the Blue Jays lineup?" That's a fun little exercise I just thought of. How would that go? I mean, truthfully, look at the way the sticks are going against the White Sox pitching staff, and it's the White Sox pitching staff. Davis Martin looked unbelievable yesterday, and that guy Grant Taylor, oh my, start that guy every game. I mean, it's an incredible strategy. I've never seen it. The same opener back to back days. They should do that every year. Guy's pumping 101. If we can't hit the White Sox pitching, I don't even know how we would fare against Brendan Little's pitching. He could just spike curveballs on the ground and we're just going to chase it every time. I don't know, man. That's a funny little exercise there. But state of the bullpen. I mean, this is where we're at with it. A lot of it is just Brendan Little. And I think if you just take him out of the equation, yes, the bullpen is much better. But we're noticing that the depth is being a little bit tested when you have a guy like Austin Voth coming in there. And I looked yesterday, I'm like, okay, Joe Mantiply, I know he used to be an all-star, and I've heard of this name. I'm like, Austin Voth. So we're starting to test that depth a little bit. I want Mako because he's more of the proven entity right now as a lefty. I just think they want to stretch him out as a starter. And if Eric Lauer, again, is your only lefty starter and he's feeling sick or whatever, and he's throwing 88, I hope he doesn't keep getting shelled. But if that is the case, you need Adam Mako as the next guy up. So I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe it's a Chase Lee. I know you talked about Chase Lee all offseason. Listen, a little sidekick to Tyler Rogers. Tyler Rogers has looked incredible this year. Maybe if Chase Lee does the same thing, a little 82 from down here, maybe that could work. I don't know. But the bullpen, a little tough right now. We'll get into the next thing, though. Again, the catching tandem, right? It's now Tyler Heineman and Brandon Valenzuela. Valenzuela. Shout out to Valenzuela, got a base hit in his major league debut. But this is the struggles part of the podcast. Tyler Heineman. I could not believe what I was watching Friday night. I'll start with the Friday one, and I'll let you touch on Saturday's game. Comes in completely cold, right? Completely cold because Alejandro Kirk has just broken his thumb. And of course, as baseball goes, the ball finds Tyler Heineman immediately. Like the first play, strange play because I didn't think it was Derek Hill, I think, was up at the plate and laid down a bunt. I didn't think a bunt was going to come down in that situation. And
No, it's two outs
yeah,
in like what
of
are we
course
doing
not.
here? Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
So he must have just thought of that himself and just thought, okay, I'm just going to throw these guys off. And you know what? He did throw us off because Tyler Heineman just launched that thing into right field. I don't even know looking back, could Vlad have really blocked that ball? You want him to get the out at that point, but you also want him to block the ball and not let it go into right field. I mean, just what a way to end that game. And you're starting off the series like that. How are you going to carry that momentum into Saturday's game? And I don't even want to talk about it, man. What I watched on Saturday's game, I couldn't even look at the TV. The second he threw that ball into the outfield, I was gone. I just left the room. I don't know. I can't even think of that right now.
Yeah, and you got to feel bad for Jeff Hoffman too. Jeff Hoffman's looked good.
Yeah.
Jeff Hoffman looked good in that outing. He looked good until Alejandro Kirk came out. And
Yeah.
man, I thought that that was a huge game for us. If we could start the series out with the win after that horrible Rockies series, like that would have been incredible. And then you lose in a heartbreaker. Just it was so unlucky. That Alejandro Kirk injury is so unlucky. Prayers go out to Alejandro. And then Saturday, as you said, oh man. So it's a
Oh,
critical situation here, and it feels like the whole game and all these Blue Jays games are just you're counting how many guys until Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
yeah.
Okay, it's this many guys until Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Whatever, whatever. The same thing goes for Saturday, and it's a critical situation here late in the game, and then Tyler Heineman tags up on a fly ball. It's a sac fly, and then gets out at third base, leaving Vladimir Guerrero Jr. on deck and doesn't get up in that situation, which just can't happen. Just can't happen. And they touched on that over and over again on the broadcast. It's just very unfortunate. And we're not totally new to these errors by Tyler Heineman. Happened a few times last year, just a few mental lapses, whether that was just defending or even base running as well, just things like that. And then um, even worse than that, to end the game, great play by Ernie Clement. It was a ground ball to Ernie
Yeah.
Clement. Knew he couldn't get the guy at first. Turns around, throws it home, and then Tyler Heineman runs down the runner at third
Oh,
and throws the ball into the outfield. And you could
not
just
even
see Vladdy
close.
put his hands on his head. You'd see Tyler Heineman so
Oh,
upset, and you got to feel for the guy a little bit. But I mean, that's just a play you got to make, and it was heartbreaking watching him in the next inning, just like on the verge of tears in the dugout, and then I think he was crying after the game in the clubhouse. So just three mental lapses from a guy you really need right now. A guy who is a veteran catcher, shouldn't be making these errors, and a guy you're going to be leaning on for these next few weeks.
I mean, I again, you look at the tandem. I don't think you're expecting much offensively from Brandon Valenzuela. I mean, he got that one hit, but when you look at his minor league stats, he's like a 200 hitter. I don't know how Tyler Heineman hit like 300 last year, but I don't think that's going to happen again. There was a lot of BABIP stuff there. He got really lucky with balls in play. The exit velos are just not there. You're not going to get. I think we can expect for the next 6 weeks or however long Kirk is going to be out that we're just not going to get much offensively. I don't know that we're going to get a single home run in those 6 weeks from the catching position. Maybe we get one. I don't know. Maybe Valenzuela gets lucky or something, but that's the kind of stuff, the Heineman thing. I don't even want to talk about the tag up because I mean that's just I don't know, that's one thing in its own right. And you could make the point that well was Vlad going to do anything anyways? Man, it's Vladdy. Get Vladdy to the plate. Obviously, you want him to do something, and he looked like he was figuring something out. Obviously, with that home run earlier in the game, but really the big one, obviously, where he really cost us the game because the offense could have still come through earlier in the game, and then we wouldn't have had to worry about the tag up there. It's the air at the end of the game. I mean, listen, I coach a 13U baseball team, little league, a little rep league competitive team. This is the kind of stuff I expect from those kids. Okay. Not a guy that's been in the show for almost, I don't know, 6 years, 7, 8 years, however long he's been in the show. This is not the kind of stuff you expect. And okay, one mental lapse can happen. Like three in the same series, and it's not even close. I mean, do you see Ernie Clement, who's there at third base, backing up the play, ready for the throw? He puts his hand up, and he doesn't even go that high because he sees that ball's like 50 feet over his head. Not even close. I don't know how you miss getting a handle on the ball that bad. Little league stuff, man. I mean, little league stuff to see the runners just keep going. Because I immediately just walked out of the room the second that happens. I'm like, I cannot believe what I've just seen. And I thought, okay, one run maybe scores and we're down one. I come back to the TV and somehow two runners have scored. That's how far he launched that ball into left field. I don't even know who was backing up the play in left field, but that just shows how far he launched that baseball. And I'm like, Ernie was right in front of you. So I just a mental lapse. And you hear after the game that Heineman's like crying in the dugout and he's taking acceptance for those games that they're on him. But again, talk about stuff you don't want to hear early in the season. We're 9 games in and we have our now primary catcher crying about losing us 2 games. I mean, I feel horrible for the guy, but this is the kind of stuff you expect a little league ball, right? So it's just a really rough sight. I want to chalk this entire series just up to injuries and I don't know, sickness and Blue Jays voodoo magic that I mentioned with the Rocky series as well. Well, that one might have been a sick April Fool's joke. This one was not an April Fool's joke. This is just the baseball gods doing something to us that they do every year. I guess this is a great segment where we should get into the offense because I mean the offense looked horrible, and I know you're going to bring up some stats of what the offense looks like each April the last 3 or 4 years. I don't know what it is. We just cannot hit in April. I wish we could, but we just can't hit in the month of April.
Yeah, the offense has been horrendous, and it's the same guys we talked about in the last episode, which is infuriating. It's just the same list of guys,
Yep.
except Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who seemed to figure it out a bit on the power side of things.
Hey.
But oh my goodness. Let's start with Kaz Okamoto. I think there's no better way to start this. I think
Oof.
he's eclipsed the 50% strikeout percentage, which
Yeah.
is a heck of a heck of an accomplishment. Props to Kaz Okamoto. I I know it's not going to happen the rest of the season. It's just
Oh.
very frustrating seeing the level of at bats right now. It's
Yeah.
just chasing, it's whiffing everywhere. It's not competitive. He's 1 for 10 in this series, and his counterpart Munetaka
Oh.
Murakami. Munetaka Murakami is supposed to have the strikeout numbers that Okamoto has right now, and it's
Yeah.
totally flipped. So, uh, who knows? That could change. Murakami could be like crazy with the strikeouts in a few weeks, and Okamoto is just a contact beast. But as of right now, it's not looking too good. And as I said last time, his runners in scoring position has just been abysmal as well. And so I think it starts with Kazuo Komodo. He's been put in difficult situations as I mentioned in the last episode where he's batting cleanup. He's not batting eighth or seventh or ninth. No, he's batting
Yeah.
cleanup against lefties, and that's just how it is, which is something. But you don't really have any other answers right now. So Kaz, pick it up, man. Like it's been a real tough watch. And another guy is George Springer. Just has not done what he did last year at the start of the season. And we're not many games in. I think we're 9 games in right now. It's an early sample size, but we have not played well. So George Springer, you're 2 for 12 this series. Uh, that's not good. That is not good at all. And then looking at a few other guys, just running by them, it's Dalton Varsho. Dalton Varsho has done nothing this year. It's just I totally would have thought otherwise. Just you never see a guy in his free agent year just like totally not do anything. But so far, Dalton Varsho has lost quite a bit of money. It's just like not looking good right now. And then Nathan Lucas is a guy who's been chasing a lot as
Oh
well.
my
He was
God.
0 for 5, and Dalton Varsho and Addison Barger seemed to pick it up a little bit. He had a cool double there I thought was a nuke, but it died at the track and was a double. So he looked like he picked it up a bit, and he was sick and injury and all that. So I'll leave him off this list. But as of right now, Kazuo Komodo, George Springer, Dalton Varsho, and Nathan Lucas have got to pick it up and contribute to this offense right now.
Listen, Okamoto's defense has been great, I think, honestly. His adjustment to
Yeah, yeah.
MLB in that sense has been great. But listen, we didn't really sign him for defense, right? Like, that's not, we moved Andres Gimenez to shortstop. We know we have Ernie Clement at second base. Vlad's okay. I mean, Vlad's not bad at first base. I don't think he might win a Gold Glove again, but he's solid over there. We didn't sign Okamoto to be a defense first third baseman. We needed pop out of that guy. 4 years, 60 mil. We need some kind of pop. I know, 9 games in, but the guy looks lost. I mean, and I remember when he was facing Luis Severino opening night, and that guy's pumping like 98-mile-an-hour two seamers right at him. So you could say, okay, someone like Grant Taylor that comes in the game, he's going to look even more lost against that. But come on, like when you get to the White Sox bullpen, and I see like Chris Murphy or some of these names that were coming in, and he looks completely lost against that. Positive spin zone here. I think this is what's going to happen with Okamoto though when he sees the Dodgers. Listen, he knows Yoshinobu Yamamoto, he knows Shohei Ohtani, he knows Roki Sasaki. Don't be surprised if he goes like 4 for 12 in the next series with a couple of tanks. I saw some NPB highlights. I saw it where he took Yamamoto and Sasaki both deep. I mean, he's done it in the past off like 99 as well and 100 because those guys throw gas. Again, such a Jays thing, such an Okamoto thing if they just completely struggle against these White Sox pitchers, but somehow magically figure it out against the Dodgers pitchers. And we desperately need that because I cannot watch another Yamamoto complete game or 7 innings, no hits or whatever in the Rogers Center. So I think he'll figure it out there. The Springer thing, I don't know, man. Weren't we just doing this last year? Like, I mean, Springer comes in after a 100 batting average in spring training, doesn't look great because remember last year, just last year, this magical run we had, team was horrible offensively still. I mean, we were still like a month in and thinking, is George Springer going to be the leadoff guy? Should he be batting sixth? Should he be batting eighth? Remember, he didn't start the year leadoff last year. Remember, we had like Alan Roden hitting above him, and then he figured it out. So with him, I want to take it easy. I know he's 36, whatever, but he just did it last year. Give him some time. With the Dalton Varsho thing, this is why we don't take any stock into spring training because that looks completely awful right now. And I know you mentioned off the podcast that why haven't I dropped him on fantasy? Well, I don't know, man. It's really feeling like I should right now. The way he's swinging the stick, 2 for 11. You saying in this series? I don't even remember when he did that because it doesn't look like he's ever gotten a base hit this entire season. The way he's playing baseball, and then the last one, Nathan Lucas. I want to touch a little more on this one because I know I've talked about this in the offseason when we were making predictions back in like early February. It's like who's going to be cut from the team, who makes it, and like RJ Schreck and David Schneider's going to be gone, all that stuff. Nathan Lucas was one of the guys I talked about, I remember. And I remember saying that this is not a guy I want on the team anymore. Not because I dislike the guy, but we have Jesus Sanchez and Addison Barger now. It seems a little redundant to have those three guys on the bench because I don't know, they all play a similar role. They're all lefties. They all have power potential, but who has the least power potential? Nathan Lucas. You could say, well, okay, he's got the contact ability, the best contact ability out of those three guys. Nathan Lucas was 0 for 5 yesterday. He's swinging up all. I mean, some of his at bats, he's swinging up balls above his head. I don't the at bats. We talk about uncompetitive at bats. This is supposed to be the guy that fights out like 10 pitch at bats, fouls balls off. He looks completely lost right now. And when you have those other lefty options, again, I want to feel bad for the guy, but this is just not the guy I want on the major league roster. Do you send him down to AAA or do you just have enough of him? It seems a little redundant to have that position right now. And if I haven't said it already, I think I'm out on Nathan Lucas.
Yeah, it's tough because there was a lot of like, oh, he did so much for us last year kind of stuff and started him on opening day. That was a cool story. And uh, I think you give him a bit longer of a leash, but it can't be too much longer. You got Josh Kasevich down there
Looks
mashing,
great.
and you got other guys down there. So there are other options, but as you said, you can't option Nathan Lucas down. Like you would have to outright
Yeah.
DFA him. And we're 9 games into the year, so it just doesn't
Yeah.
make much sense to do that right away. And another big component of this Blue Jays offense that is not clicking right now is their clutch hitting ability, their situational hitting, and especially with runners in scoring position. That was a big part last year. It was, man, these guys move guys over to third and then hit a sac fly and do all that kind of stuff. No, it's our batting average is 213 right now with runners in scoring position, and we have no home runs. So, what instantly clicks when you think of that? And for Aiden, that is, do we need Bo Bichette back? Is he the missing piece to this Blue Jays 2026 team?
Oh,
And that's when I'm gonna throw it over to you, and we'll see what you say here.
I mean, what do you think I'm gonna say? I don't care if he's hitting like 050 right now for the Mets because I know he looks horrible for the Mets. But listen, our guy replacement Okamoto isn't looking much better right now, and quite frankly, nobody is. Here's my argument for the Bo thing. And listen, I mean, is there a world that he ever comes back to the Jays? I don't know. Does he opt out with the Mets at some point? It's a 1 year deal. Remember how he was talking at his press conference with the Mets, and they asked him, I think it was John Heyman, well, Bo, how are you thinking about this contract? You know, you're going to opt out after year one, and he looked completely lost. I mean, he didn't know what to say to that. So I don't know what kind of sign is that, Mets fans. if he has a bad year, though, of course he's going to stick around. I mean, $42 million a year. I know I talk crazy all offseason. Okay. I said give him 50, give him 60, whatever. I know that is not realistic. That's not going to happen. Okay. They're not going to ever give him that kind of money. The Mets, Steve Cohen doesn't care how much money he dishes out. He'll dish out whatever to his players. So if he's bad again, he'll go back to the Mets. My thing with the Bo thing here is if he was on the Jays, I know he's going to figure it out because I know the hit tool is there and it's proven year after he had one bad year in 2024. Other than that, this guy's been hitting 300 every single year. The knees are gone, the legs are gone. He cannot slide, he cannot run anymore, but he can hit the baseball. Okay. I mean, he had almost that Joe Carter moment. It still crushes me to look back at that home run off Otani. You know the contact ability is there. And what was he perfect at? Just last year, for example, if we just want to look at last year, don't go back to 21 and 22 and all that. Get a couple guys on. What is he going to do? He's not going to send the ball over the wall. He's going to shoot it down the line to right field into the corner. Maybe it's a single because he can't run anymore, but now those two runners are in. We don't have any guys that can do that right now. We saw it a little bit with Okamoto. I remember opening series. He did that against the A's. Okamoto was shooting balls to right field. I go, perfect. We don't need a home run every time. You don't have to be Murakami, strike out, or like a Joey Gallo type, strike out, walk, or home run. We don't need that. Shoot the ball the other way. He looks completely lost, and I know that Bo is someone that can do that, and he's going to figure it out. We don't need to spend too much time on it because Bo is not on this baseball team anymore. It's the prototype of that kind of player. Someone needs to pick it up. Listen, it doesn't have to be Okamoto. It doesn't. If Nathan Lucas could figure it out and he doesn't have to be that home run guy and he's just shooting it the other way, perfect. Then it's him. And I don't have to talk bad about him anymore. But someone needs to figure it out. And it's that type of hitter that we're missing. And we're feeling that with Bo Bichette. That's what he's going to do for the Mets. He's going to figure it out. He is not going to bat 150 for the rest of the year for the Mets. And that's what we're missing right now. Someone with that contact ability, shoot the ball the other way, drive runners in with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, that's right. Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to pick it up, and we'll see if this Dodgers series gets someone going. And besides Andres Jimenez and Vladimir Guerrero Jr.,
Yeah.
which brings us to the series standouts, which uh, the big one was Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He hit a very near home run. It was caught at the warning track, and I'm like, "You're kidding me! You are kidding me, man!" Because this series we were hitting balls hard. Unlike
Yeah.
unlike the Rocky series where we were just awful and it was just weak ground balls, weak fly balls everywhere. This one we were hitting the ball hard and it was just getting to gloves. And I'm like, you are kidding me. So Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hit his first home run of the year, which was a very timely one, and the lead went away after that, but we won't talk about that. This is the optimism and good side section. So that was very cool. And then Andres Jimenez, who has been probably the Jays' best hitter, him and Jesus Sanchez,
Yeah.
right up there for the Blue Jays' best hitter so far. He hit a very, very clutch two-run tank in the first game. And those are two of the biggest standouts in this series and a series
Yeah.
that don't have many standouts.
Yeah, they keep flashing it on the screen every time Andres Jimenez has a big home run in land of March or early April. Look at that 2022 year. Look at what he did. He hit 300 with like an 850 OPS, fifth in MVP. Listen, I don't know why they keep flashing that because he's not going to ever do that again. I don't see how he's going to replicate that season, but we don't need that out of the 9 hole or 8 hole, whatever he's going to do. It's crazy to me how good he is every April because I've seen this like every year. The first 10 games of the season, he has like a 1500 OPS or whatever. I don't know how. Could you please sustain that over another month or two? That would be really nice, especially the way the offense is going right now. We'll take it early in the year. We'll take it absolutely. But again, I don't think we can expect an 850 or 900 OPS from Andres Jimenez. You know what? That value at shortstop is going to be incredible defensively, easily. This is a guy that can put up 3 WAR defensively if he's healthy for a full year. Can you get me a 2 WAR offensively? Can you get me like a 715 OPS? I'm taking that out of the 9 hole. Yeah, it's not going to be 850 or whatever we had from Bo before, but when you're combining the two, defense and offense, easily this is a guy. And I remember we did our season preview actually with the WAR projections, and I don't know exactly what Jimenez would have been, 4.5 or something like that. Pretty sure we both took the over. This is a guy that can easily get a 5 on the WAR, right? If he just does something significant enough with the bat and then has the defensive value. Regardless of focusing on what he's doing right now in the moment, it's incredible. I mean, again, I don't want to talk about what happened after that home run because, again, we get a lead and we just can't sustain it. But with the Jimenez home run, incredible. He has such a smooth, I just love about Andres Jimenez. He has such a smooth swing. I mean, he's not going to connect with the ball all the time, but it's silky smooth, man, from the left side. We don't have a lot of guys that are like that. I remember when Tony Taters was back in this lineup, that guy is stiff. That guy swinging a baseball bat is incredibly stiff. Even Nathan Lucas and Jesus Sanchez, a lot of the guys. Andres Jimenez is the only one that's very smooth from the left side, and when he connects with the ball, it looks pretty, really pretty.
Yeah, 100%. And there were some other standouts here from some Buffalo guys. Some Buffalo Bisons came up
Yeah,
because we needed them. We needed some guys to help us out with injuries and a bunch of different stuff going on right now. So Lazaro Estrada was excellent on Saturday. He did
yeah,
everything we needed him to. Mason Fluharty opened the game, gave up a run, and Lazaro Estrada came in. 4 innings, 3 Ks. Beautiful. Awesome. You did your job. That's all
yeah,
we could ask for. We did support him with runs, but props to Lazaro Estrada. And then Brandon Valenzuela, solid debut yesterday. Props to the rookie. Had a first hit. It was a ringing single, pretty hard hit single, and that's a good way to start off your year. And yeah, some AAA guys contributing because you need them to contribute right now. You can't just have guys come up and not do anything while this Blue Jays offense and pitching staff isn't looking all that great right now.
yeah. We're always going to need help from the Buffalo boys, right? I mean, it was Leo Jimenez for a lot of the years, and then we called up guys like Spencer Horwitz and Will Wagner and all that. There's always guys we need. I mean, baseball is tough. We're realizing it. We're 9 games in, and the injuries and the sickness and all that. We're always going to need guys to step up and huge. I mean, I thought Estrada's stuff looked incredible on Saturday. The fastball, he's painting on the corners, 96 on the black, and he's throwing 86-mile-an-hour sliders that are moving all over the place. He did his job. I mean, I just hate it for. See, that's a guy I really feel bad for because that's a guy that deserved the win in that game, man. I mean, the way he pitched, and again, the offense that we're facing with the White Sox, the pitching has not looked bad at all. So great by him stepping up, and I really wish he got that win. And Valenzuela, again, we're not going to expect a lot with the bat, but I thought he looked okay from what I saw a little bit defensively. And again, that's the one thing when Kirk is going to be out 6 weeks. If we can at least get solid defense from Mr. Heineman, if you can wake up a little bit, please. But with Heineman and Valenzuela, if we can get good defense out of them, that's all we need out of the catching tandem. And then you mentioned another guy earlier, and I'm glad you mentioned that guy, Josh Kasevich, who's doing well. I wonder what he's thinking though when he's seeing some of these guys that are coming up, like Austin Voth and Brandon Valenzuela and all these guys, and Nathan Lucas is still on this roster. I mean, Josh Kasevich is swinging it, man. He got a lot of opportunities in spring training. Super utility guy too. I know this guy can play everywhere. Like I'm pretty sure he can play every infield position, every outfield position. I think the phone's going to ring pretty soon for Josh Kasevich. I don't know, like RJ Schreck or whoever else we have down there in AAA and Riley Torrado and all that. But I think Kasevich is probably the next guy up. And we're going to obviously continue to need help from the Buffalo guys. This isn't something like, okay, Barger's going to be healthy again. Kirk's going to come back. And until October, we're good. That's just not how baseball works, guys. We're going to need help again from the Buffalo boys. So shout out to them. And yeah, probably we're going to see Josh Kasevich at some point.
Yeah, you would think. You would think. He's been incredible, and if there's another injury or if they need another righty bat, you'd think he'd be the first person to call. And then
Yep.
a cool stat I found here. It wasn't a standout, but it's a sign of optimism for these Blue Jays fans here. So from 2024 to 2026, the worst batting average in a month for the Toronto Blue Jays has been March/April. It's that first month where they get off to a slow start. And why is it not 2023? Well, because 2023 we sucked like all months, and it just went down in like August or something like that.
Yep.
So that's why it wasn't 2023. But from 2024 to 2026. So there's signs of optimism here. Even when we face bad teams in April, we aren't good. It just takes us, as you said, maybe we're warm weather. We're a warm weather group. We don't like the roof to be closed. We like it open. So
Yep.
those kind of things there. And then moving on to the forecast versus the LA Dodgers. In the first game, it's Max Scherzer versus Justin Robleski. Aiden and I will be there tonight. Hopefully,
Yes, sir.
it's a lot better game than these past few series. And then this game should be great. It's Kevin Gausman versus Yoshinobu Yamamoto. My oh my! And then even the last game as well, Dylan Cease versus Shohei Ohtani. This is shaping up to be a heck of a series. And if the Blue Jays bats can wake up a bit, this will be a great series.
Yeah, again, the flashbacks I'm getting right now from the Gosman Yamamoto thing. Said it earlier. Can we just get a couple runs off him? I mean, we had 3 chances in the World Series. We couldn't do anything off him. Please figure that out. And probably Okamoto's the guy to do it because he has experience against him in the MPB. It's tough, though. If I'm going to make a prediction here with the Dodgers series, I don't think we said sweep for the White Sox one, right? We said take 2 out of 3. I'm
Yeah.
going to go complete opposite here. I'm going to go reverse jinx. I'm going to say they get swept by the Dodgers, which means they're not going to get swept. Complete reverse jinx. The way this team is playing, how can you not really? Because the way they're playing, If they just played like that against the White Sox and the Rockies, how can you expect that they're going to go in there and beat the Dodgers? So I'm pulling the reverse jinx. Jays get swept by the Dodgers, and you know what? We're 4-8 spin zone going into the Twin Series, and we take off from there.
We're sweeping the Dodgers, man. This
Okay.
is this is my hot take. One thing that's been very like tough for the Blue Jays so far is their pitching matchups, and whether that's Lazaro Estrada or Cody Ponce or Eric Lauer on a sick day yesterday, these are all fantastic pitching matchups, and like very even for the most part. The first game, I don't know if Wrobleski is going to go like five or be an opener, but that they're very solid pitching matchups, and I think that this will kind of wake the Blue
Yep.
Jays up a bit. At least I hope. Maybe I'm more hopeful than actually realistic. But bring in some optimism to the podcast right now.
Yep.
Let's sweep the Dodgers. Season's back on. It's like we did a 4-game sweep of the Yankees last year and flipped it around. So
Yeah.
same thing here. 3-game sweep. Season's back on. Let's go.
Love it. Love the optimism because the last thing I want is for us to turn to the 2023 Blue Jays, where it's
Oh
just all
man.
pitching.
Oh man.
That is the worst brand of baseball to watch, and you have to struggle to win games 2-1. Big key, like you said, just get the offense going. Okay. I don't really care, honestly, what the outcome of the series is. Sweep the Dodgers. I would love that, but really just get the bats going. Pitching, please continue doing your thing. Max Scherzer looked great last time out. Kevin Gosman's looked unbelievable to start the year. Dylan Cease had one rough start, but I'd like for him to bounce back. Pitching's been good. Get the bats going. Okay, next time we talk to you guys, there better be a couple of home runs hit. Some of the batting averages creeping over 150 would be really nice, and no more injuries, please. Everyone, let's get rid of that bug. I don't know, take some medicine. Let's get better with the sickness. Get rid of the injuries, and you know what? We're going to be back on track for the Twin Series.
That's right. I sure hope it's a lot more positive, more optimistic the next time we talk to you guys ahead of a poor team in the Minnesota Twins. And we'll see. These should be a great 3-game
Yeah,
set and bring back hopefully some more positive flashbacks from last year and not all the negative and traumatic ones. So
yes,
it'll
sir.
be a fun series. It'll be good to talk to you guys next. And go Jays!
Go Jays.